Have you ever experienced something so crippling in your life that has made you feel broken? I have. Are you someone who has a giving heart but is struggling to feel good themselves? Are you consistently putting your needs aside to take care of everyone else? If so, you're not alone. Giving starts with giving to yourself so that you are able to give of yourself to other people. Isn't it time you took back control and discovered what makes you tick? Join me in my journey and find out how you can feel better about yourself, live your best life, and share that with others. Thinking of yourself, it doesn't make you selfish, it makes you brave. I'm Nelia, and this is the Giving Starts With You podcast. If you're looking for a way to start your self-care journey or looking for a unique gift to give to someone at Christmas, check out my new book, The Ultimate I Deserve a Break coloring book. It's filled with inspirational designs created by me, all around giving and living intentionally. So if you'd like to check that out, it's available on Amazon, as well as my new website at www.neliahutt.com. That's www.neliahutt.com. Hi, everyone. This is the Giving Starts With You podcast. I'm your host, Nelia Hutt. I am so excited to have met yet another phenomenal woman, and she's Canadian from Toronto. I would love to introduce you to Rita. Hi, Rita. How are you?
Hi, Amelia. I'm great. I'm excited to be on here. You have a great podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I want to dive right in today. I'm going to let you know a little bit more about Rita Farruggia. Rita is the founder and the CEO of HappyabeingWell.com. It's a self-care online store and free resource for self-care education and inspiration. And she's also the host of Happy Being Well Podcast. Congratulations, Rita.
Thank you. Yes, it's been an exciting journey.
So it was only when Rita committed to practicing self-care consistently that her self-confidence increased, self-worth and self-love that led her to leave toxic environments, relationships, to build Happy Being Well. The benefits of self-care can truly change a person's ability to create change in themselves and in the world in a powerful way. As Rita always says, if I may quote you on something, if we are not charging ourselves up with positive energy through self-care, then we are prone to brain fog, having a built-up of stress and anxiety that prevents us from clarity. Thank you so much. I love that quote. I couldn't agree more. Amazing, amazing. So yeah, I'm so excited. Let's just dive right in. I'm interested to know how your journey to self-care started. Was, maybe you could tell us a little bit about who you are and how everything started.
Yeah, sure. So I would say, it happened in increments. I think as women, I was always looking for the best skincare products. That was, for me, I found a real challenge. I would try, of course, friends would be like, try the MLM products because, most of the time you do have those friends that are involved with those MLMs, and I never was happy with them. And I would find there would be alcohol in them. And there would be other ingredients in them, like certain preservatives to preserve the product on the shelf for long shelf life. And so, it was a real mission for me to find something that, and of course, going to, Sephora, and some of their products are, you're spending maybe $80-$90 for something that says natural, but then you check the ingredients and it's not all natural. I mean, there are some natural ingredients in there, but so anyways, that was the beginning stages, and I just really started step by step, really falling in love with fully taking care of myself, taking those hot baths and then learning what to infuse a bath with to amplify the relaxation and getting the benefits of moistening my skin, and then taking that opportunity since I'm in the bath in time and I'm relaxing my nervous system to meditate as well, as a quick hijack to meditate, especially when I was working back in my corporate days, when I came home. And of course, it's a very, very busy, hectic lifestyle, trying to fit everything in, coming home, you're commuting. You have to go to the grocery store, you have to cook and then do laundry, have your clothes prepared for the next day, maybe catch up with a friend or, have some time with your significant other. I found it was very difficult to meditate during those days. So I found by going into the bath, that was a way to literally calm the nervous system down and to be able to concentrate and meditate. And then I just got better, like discovering the benefits of using organic versus the non-organic. Like it really, you can feel the difference. Even with our foods, you can literally taste the difference. And also too, our skin is our largest organ. Like we really don't want to be putting in, chemicals seeping in through our bloodstream, because it really truly can cause hormone disruption. It can ultimately lead to brain fog and insomnia and headaches and a whole host of other problems with that toxic buildup over time. And, and it's a real thing. Like I'm sure a lot of people have heard that Johnson & Johnson was sued
Yes.
for their baby powder. They were putting in talc and other chemicals in them that the parents were using on their babies. And as the babies, grew up, they developed problems, diseases, and
It's terrible.
So just to showcase, how important it is to, use all natural when it comes to your skin. So, so that was a part of it. And it really was, I don't know, it's a real joy for me. Like when I do my skincare ritual, for example, like I also take that time to do my affirmations, because again, talking about a quick hack to meditating using the long bath, I mean, I really do go VIP when I use my bath. Like I put bath salts, bath bombs, bath oils. I light the incense. I have the
It's
candles
an event
around
for
me.
sure.
But I also put crystals in the bath. Like I literally have an intention for my bath. And so like if I'm going to do a self-love bath, I create a self-love bath and I put the rose quartz crystal in the bath, and I'll put in some pink bath bombs, and and so the water is all pink too. And it's like,
Okay. I'm going to stop you because already I just feel like more relaxed just listening to you describe how you do this, right? So yeah, I already can feel, just feel like my shoulders going down just listening to it. So that's awesome. So when you started, I heard you say it's because it felt good, and you needed to de-stress and sort of separate, your crazy life and then just take this time for yourself. Do you have, so this is the first time I've had somebody on with this take. So this is great. And it's something that we haven't had yet, which I'm excited about. Do you come from a place of anxiety and depression where this has also helped? Or is it more of a just feel good, I need to feel better about myself and boost your confidence and things like that?
I would say it's a combination. Of course, I would say in today's society that anxiety is becoming a very common problem in today's, over demanding, a lot of things are demanding our attention. It's becoming very noisy in terms of the distractions that we're getting due to technology, and even due to just work alone, with the incorporation of the advanced technology. We're no longer even 9 to 5 anymore. Our bosses can text us, email us, especially with the texting or even a phone call. And, what are you're going to do? You're going to ignore your boss? No.
Burnout for sure.
It's the pressure to, and the increasing competition of our society, it's a real thing. So, and yeah, it's a real thing. And even the younger generations they're getting even more pressure than even millennials were getting.
Absolutely.
So I definitely experienced anxiety for sure. I mean, and plus stress, even if I were to like be completely zenned out and like not having to really be exposed to extreme levels of stress, there's always going to be some element of stress if
Exactly.
you are living like a kind of like a Zen lifestyle within society, if you're like kind of semi-retired or whatever, what have you, like if you're not being exposed to elements of high levels of stress, you're still going to experience some stress. It's just due to like life, like you're always going to experience some form of disappointment or self-doubt, right? So this is why it's so important to meditate regularly, to get in tune with your body, increase your intuition. And affirmations are so important. So what I was getting to before, when I use my skincare routine, because I live a very busy lifestyle, I'm running a company. And so in the mornings, I love my skincare routine. So I use my one of my favorite masks on the Happy Being Well set is the 100% natural organic residue clay mask. And there is literally, that's all there is in it, is the residue clay. But that being said, since it's all natural, it comes in a powdered form, so you have to mix it with water when you open the jar. And so it's so, because it's all natural, it's like so soothing as you're applying it on your skin, and even the act of like rubbing it on your skin, it's like a nice massage. And so my nervous system immediately calms down, and I'm looking in the mirror as I'm doing it. So it's a perfect way to say my affirmations. So I'm
Mhm.
killing two birds with one stone, saving me time. And so my favorite affirmation to do when I'm rubbing my residue facial clay mask on my skin is, every day in every way I'm getting better and better. And
That's beautiful.
affirmations are so powerful because you're literally programming your mind. You're reprogramming your mind, and your body's listening. So, if you're having a body pain too, if your back is sore, your shoulders are sore, just talk to your body. Say, shoulders, I love you. I appreciate you. You're safe, everything's okay. Even though I have the shoulder pain, I still love myself, and I forgive myself. And you're not resisting it, right? And whatever you resist persists. You just accept it and show yourself love, show your body love, talk to your body, and you actually will notice the pain actually will start decreasing and eventually go away.
Yeah, I love that so much. Thank you. That's beautiful. I mean, even, so going back to the affirmations, yeah, hitting two, two birds with one stone. That's beautiful. Can you repeat it again every day?
Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better.
That's so beautiful. I
Yeah.
love that. I don't know about you, Rita, but I didn't grow up learning how to take care of myself. I learned how to take care of everybody else. And sometimes, being grown up in an immigrant family, quite often, not for any, negative reason, but we just don't learn how to do that. And not in my family. It was more about helping, being there for other people. And, it wasn't until I was an adult that I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Like, I think I need to change what I'm doing. And just be okay and love yourself enough to give yourself permission to do those things. When you're talking about the bath and the affirmations, and just I've got to get some of that clay mask, because honestly, I'm off next week, and although I'll still be working, I'm off, and I'm doing a self-care week, so definitely got to check that out, because I think that's going to be amazing. But do you ever find that someone is resistant to starting, like, with new products, or starting with just self-care in general? Like, do you ever come up against someone who maybe wants to try it but is a bit like skeptical, or is having a struggle with just allowing themselves to do it?
Um,
Or are they
I
mostly
don't
like ready?
know. Yeah, if they are, they wouldn't say it. From what I've observed, um, there's a lot of, whoever kind of, in my experience, whoever kind of does this site does eventually end up purchasing something
Right.
because I have 1,000 self-care products on there. So they will get something. But that is a good question. And I have noticed people that they're really not taking care of themselves. They do buy something like me, you know, for example, like I have organic elderberry syrup and, you know, they're getting sick and they want something to boost their immune system in a natural organic way. And there's the organic, fresh, right from the farm, elderberry syrup that you can put in your coffee and your tea to boost your immune system. So yeah, and they're not, you know, they're not doing the organic facial clay masks, you know, on a regular basis, or really going all in terms of self-care.
Well, I'm sure that, yeah, I'm sure that by the time they get to your website, they're ready. Like they've already convinced themselves and know that this is going to be beneficial. But I'm thinking more like before they even get there, like even just in conversation with friends or in your community, do you find that sometimes people are not quite ready to, like they have a block where they're not quite ready to take better care of themselves? Because I think that's a problem. Like I think we have to, you know, I love that you have your journal and you have other things as well and resources. And I think we really sometimes have to start there and convince people and tell them it's okay to take better care of yourself. Because if they know more of the benefits, then yeah, you know, you've got these amazing products that there's no question they're going to do what they're set to do. You know, there's no question that, you know, some people want to do self-care, they don't know where to start. So you're giving them like this really good, solid place where they can go, and it's pretty easy, right? Except that you have too many products, so it's hard to choose. But I think sometimes the barrier comes even before people get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Well, in terms of the facial clay mask, there's actually like, I think there's only like maybe like 4 or 5 products up. So it's really not overwhelming. But you know, the only thing that's overwhelming is like maybe like I have like hundreds of natural soaps to choose from and a lot of natural candles to choose from. That's only because candles come in
sounds like heaven.
Right. So yeah, but yeah, definitely. I think this is a common problem amongst women because there's just so, especially with women who are mothers and wives, and working full time, you know, it's very common that they do the minimum for themselves because they're just so like they're just so focused on, you know, their career, their children, you know, giving attention to their husbands and, you know, being a good wife, that it's just almost like a program that it's like they're not even really
self-aware.
Yeah, like they're just kind of they're actually operating on autopilot. And I was there, and I was only until really recently I really went full in on my self-care and to really educate myself on the products out there, the good products that can help, you know, amplify my concentration, reduce the stress, and increase my inner peace, increase my intuition, and help me perform, you know, meditations, affirmations, yoga on a regular basis, because these products amplify your ability to concentrate in order to do those things. And also to, you know, you look better. I mean, not to sound vain, but you know, there is some beneficial appearance benefits to it too. You know, especially with the essential oils and the bentonite clay. I mean, you know, those products, I know you can make your own natural toothpaste if you wanted to. And if you don't want to, actually, I do have natural toothpaste already made for you to purchase and stuff like that. Yeah, it's, you know, when I fully like started using them, I was like, wow, this is like so easy. And it's like, I never thought to really go all in because I was so busy with work. And also too, it was not a common conversation among friends. The common conversation among friends was always like traveling, you know, decorating your home, you know,
complaining about our bosses.
Yeah, you know, talking about your relationship with your significant other, talking about the kids, talking about maybe like the new restaurant you checked out or whatever. Like those were typical conversations. It wasn't, you know, it's not commonality to people to really go, hey, you know what? I'm actually using this essential oil and I'm with my diffuser on a regular basis. And I really found it's really increasing my mood and it's relieving my tension headaches. It's improving my ability to perform work at home better because it's giving me that ability to concentrate better when I put peppermint oil in my diffuser, or, you know, rubbing peppermint oil on my forehead with a carrier oil. You know, if you've got menstruation cramps, you can cure that with lavender oil, mix it with the carrier oil and rub it on your abdomen. There's a lot of things you can do, you know, aside from baths and giving yourself facials, to basically, you know, heal yourself.
I love that because it's sort of, and the more you do it, the more you want to do it. Like when you're starting a self-care ritual and you start and it's like, oh, why did I wait so long? You know, and then you'll get more in tune with what you're looking for and all these things. I just, what would be the top, like for somebody new at this, when they go onto your website, what would be, or the first few most popular that you recommend?
The most popular that I read. So a lot of people purchase the fruit smoothie facial mask, the Rasu facial mask, and they purchase, of course, the candles and the soaps. The natural deodorant is another popular one. Bath salts. The amethyst. A lot of people like the heart. We have a heart amethyst bath bomb.
Nice.
And
Christmas is coming. So these are
yeah.
awesome things to put. Honestly, you're giving a little bit of love in your gift, you know, and it's fantastic. And I know I'm trying to get better with my own self-care, trying to do different types of things. And I found as a mom, sometimes I found I didn't have certain, you know, time to meditate and certain things. But then I'm like, that's just an excuse. You have to find the time. So I would get my son to do it at the same time. So I'm like, if I only have him 24 hours a day, he needs to start being a part of what I'm doing, you know? So sometimes you do need to get away, but sometimes if you can't, you can still do self-care. You know, if they're involved and you can teach them how to do the quiet things so that you guys can do it together. But I find some of my friends that are a little bit more ahead of me and that use more of these types of products, they have been able to replace some of their medication. For example, like when you're saying some of these peppermint, you know, they get rid of tension headaches and, you know, all these things. So I think this is a great organic and natural way to do that. If you do suffer from, you know, pain, chronic pain and tension headaches and migraines and things like that, which is me. So yeah, the peppermint for sure. I've got this thing that I roll on to the temples and it just makes it go away like instantly.
Yeah, peppermint is the number one for headaches. And what I typically do is I mix the peppermint with rosemary, eucalyptus. Love rosemary. I love the feel of the rosemary oil on my skin. I just feel it's such a healing. It's so healing. I don't know. And so anyways, I mix it with rosemary, eucalyptus, and lavender, and then I put in some, you know, coconut oil. And you need to have a carrier oil when you're using essential oils on your skin topically, to kind of amplify, you know, the healing effects to get rid of headaches and migraines. And then of course using the diffuser as well, smelling those essential scents amplifies the healing properties to get rid of headaches and migraines as well, because
Oops, I think you froze there for a sec.
major, like calming down the nervous system. Yeah, so the magical potion to kind of get rid of headaches. Yeah.
What do you recommend for sleeping? Because I have sometimes a difficult time sleeping. Is it mostly the lavender or are there other things that people can use? Because I know lavender is more popular one.
Yeah, lavender, chamomile. Lavender is really popular. I mean, lavender is great for a lot of things. Hot baths are really great too. I find hot baths are really powerful to go into a deep sleep after, because it relaxes your muscles on a deep level. And also too, I'm a big fan of our bentonite clay. We have bentonite clay on our
Writing
site.
these down because I want to look at them.
Yeah.
Bentonite.
And
Okay.
the bentonite clay is also a facial mask for your face. It's very powerful to take out the toxins out of your skin and impurities. So it's very powerful. Like your skin will look matte afterwards. But that being said, make sure you use a moisturizer afterwards. But bentonite is not only used for your face. I mean, you can actually use it as a hair mask as well, but you can put it in your bath and you can detox your body as well for the bentonite clay. And bentonite clay, also too, for the people who love to do things for themselves, make things like make their natural toothpaste. Commonly, you can use bentonite clay to make your natural toothpaste or deodorant as well. Mixed in with some like essential oils and other ingredients. But yeah, bentonite clay is great for baths to kind of detox as well. And putting the bath salts adds muscle relaxation, and bath bombs increase the muscle relaxation. And of course, burning incense and burning sage, typically it relaxes you and calms you down as well. Calms your nervous system down. Is the smell of sage.
Okay.
And
learning so much.
Yeah. So burning sage. And plus on our site too, we do have a lot of natural sleep remedies. We do have a spray that has some natural ingredients, all natural ingredients in the oral spray, like chamomile and melatonin and other things that are all plant-based. And of course, herbal teas as well. We have like deep sleep teas infused with chamomile and valerian root and such. And we even have sleep gummies, Ollie.
Cool. Yeah. Is there anything that you shouldn't really mix together, like for newbies like me?
If you're using these like herbal, stuff, I actually recommend using them all. There's no harm to them whatsoever because they're not
like, okay, so you can use any combinations. Yeah. No, that's great.
Yeah, you can use your long your incense and your essential oil diffuser, and then rubbing, of course, the oils on yourself. Like
sure, your home smells beautiful.
Yeah, it does. Even looking at a candle flame too is very relaxing. It puts you into a trance just by staring at the candle flame and watching the flame dance around in the dim like dark. It's just very relaxing and tranquil. And also too, looking at if you're burning incense, looking at the swirls of smoke puts you in a trance as well.
Which takes us to the topic of meditation. I know you're big on meditation. Do you have any tips for a new person? Like, that we can, because it's a skill, right? Like, most people don't start off knowing how to do that. What do you recommend? Because I know that you spend a lot of time doing yoga and meditation as part of your self-care.
Yeah. So what I recommend is for newbies, doing things like staring at a candle flame, doing the hot bath trick, listening. I have guided meditations on my podcast, on the Happy Being Well podcast as well. And I have a lot of episodes about meditation, how to get started, how to prepare, and just listening, doing a lot of breath work in terms of nothing fancy. Of course, there is fancy breath work out there, but just starting by paying attention to your breath and just literally taking a deep breath in and holding it for like 1 or 2 seconds, and then taking and breathing from your stomach. But yes, in the beginning, it's very difficult because your mind is going to fight you on it, and your mind's like, oh, you have to do this. Oh, you should be doing this. Like it's a natural like reflex because we're not used to meditating. We're not used to living in the body. We're used to living in the mind, and the mind is always hyperactive and kind of like a monkey mind, right? Like we look at a monkey And the monkey can't sit down still. Monkey's constantly jumping from one branch to another or whatever, because and same thing with our mind. Like our mind, just because the way we've been conditioned since children, we've been placed in school and
Mhm.
we're constantly under stimulation, and we're constantly like doing something, right? Studying, listening. It's recess time. Okay, now it's time to play. It's so, and then and we're in school for like, I don't know how many years, like, like what, 20 or more. And then we enter the workforce right afterwards. Like we're literally
Go,
programmed.
go, go.
Right. We're just so programmed for go, 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 think, what to do, what to do. So this is, of course, meditation is going to be so difficult for the average person, right? Because it's like the complete opposite of like not thinking, like don't have thoughts. And that, of course, it's going to be very challenging when the brain has been so wired literally to always be thinking what's the next thing to do to get it off your docket list. Um, just by being a citizen of this society. So those are a few hacks: candle flame, burn incense, burn sage is great. And our Palo Santo, we have Palo Santo as well. Putting essential oils in your essential oil diffuser as well, whatever you like, lavender, rosemary, eucalyptus, or chamomile to help calm the nervous system down if you're not into smelling incense. Crystals. For me, I love holding a clear quartz. I love amethyst. Amethyst increases your intuition. Typically, if I have an important decision to make, I'll hold an amethyst and a selenite crystal. A selenite crystal helps talk to your higher self. And that just amplifies the frequency of, tapping into your intuition, basically, right? To make decisions when you're meditating, and it just kind of helps you amplify your concentration powers. So those are a few tips.
That's great. I'm learning so much because I don't know about crystals. So this is great. So you're teaching me tons. So if I don't know, that means some of the listeners don't. So thank you
Yeah,
for educating us for sure. Yeah. So I understand that you have a free self-care journal. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? It's on your website.
Yes. So under the blog section and under blog, under resources, click on resources, there is a free self-care journal to download, and it is wonderful. There's over 50 journal prompts, a series of very powerful, important questions to ask yourself for self-discovery purposes, learning more about yourself, for learning more about getting clarity around your purpose, your passion, gaining clarity around, what's your limiting belief, getting clarity around or beliefs, getting clarity around, your values, getting clarity around, if you're living in alignment with your beliefs, values, and ultimate passions, and also 2 prompts to do self-care, right? To get you in the daily regime of doing self-care. So there are really important questions to guide your mind, to spark those ideas, to really go in deep and pull that out of you. Because sometimes questions are super, super powerful, and
Yes.
it really does pop you out of your box, if you will, that bubble that we kind of really easily stay in just due to the day-to-day life regime that we live in. So.
And I love that it sounds like it's ready to go, so no matter how tired you are, what kind of day you had, you can pick it up, just look at it. It doesn't take a lot of thought, and then implement it, right? So I really love that it's kind of ready to go, gives you all the prompts. So you don't have to be like, oh, I need to do something for myself, but I just don't know what that is right now. So, you can grab that and have a look at it as a resource. So I think that's great that you've created that. And as you said, you have the free meditation as well.
Yes, free meditation ebook. Meditation made easy. So of course, everything I've not everything, but some of the things that I've discussed here for tips on how to meditate easily for people that are having struggles to get into a regular meditation practice are in the Meditation Made Easy ebook. free ebook, and also probably more things that I haven't touched on, to go a little bit more deeper to, you know, motivate, educate, inspire you to get into that practice and just do it very easily. Because I mean, who can't stare into a candle flame?
The people who can't really are the ones who need to do it more. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, staring into a candle flame is so easy though. It's like as soon as you do it, that's when, you know, you go into that trance, because that candle flame is like entrancing you. It's hypnotizing you. Or
I,
staring at the or staring at an incense, burning incense, and staring at the smoke swirling in the air and dancing in the air, making those swirls, like, is also very hypnotic, and puts you into a trance. So you could stare at these things. You know, obviously make sure you're doing it in a quiet place, and that'll help you get into meditation because it's hypnotic.
And then if you are one of those people that do close your eyes after, you have the scent as well to carry you through, right? So it's sort of like a double whammy. So that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, the candles are all natural or mainly handcrafted and soy based, and with a bunch of, you know, a lot of different scents on there. You know, I even have some like apple pie scents and lemon pound cake scents, and you know, and they actually look like apple pie, and
Oh, really? That's
and
awesome.
all natural and soy based. Yeah.
That's
So
wonderful. And you have such beautiful skin, so I'm sure that the products are amazing.
yeah, yes, yeah. The facial clay masks are amazing. Um, the fruit smoothie masks, for detoxing, has been, a lot of people have ranted and raved about that product. It's helped them with their acne and even psoriasis. So we've had a lot of great reviews on the smoothie mask. All of our masks are amazing because they're all natural. And
Mm.
yeah,
Do you
so
ship to Canada or outside of Canada?
some of them do ship to Canada. Um, so you'd have to find out and see which.
Okay, sounds great, but it can get to different, you've got shipping to different places, so that's
Yeah.
perfect. Is there anything we didn't talk about today that you wanted to talk about?
I think we've covered everything. I think we've covered almost the whole gamut.
No, that's awesome. Would you say, I sometimes ask some of my guests what the one gift they gave to themselves that made you feel different about who you are, or it changed the way you look at things. Would you say that it's your self-care practice for you, or something else? But sometimes we
What is
don't
the
want to.
one thing?
Yeah, what's the one gift that you gave to yourself that has ultimately changed how you feel about yourself or how your life has panned out?
I would say the self-care practice, because you know, we do live in a very you know, highly pressured society due to all of the elements that we're exposed to on a day-to-day basis. Not just talking about chemicals, but you know, toxic people all around us. You know, whether that be in your workforce, or even some people, you know, are tolerating toxic friendships and unfortunately toxic intimate relationships, like with romantic partners, romantic partner, not multiple. I mean, teach their own if they are, if you do have, but you know, it was
Mhm.
like, once I started really committing to self-care, because like I said prior, it's like literally like it's kind of like a hierarchy, if you will, of building blocks to reach optimal um, self-fulfillment, right? So it wasn't until I really committed to releasing that stress and anxiety, because what happens, it's really easy to hold it after, you know, after you come home from work. And I mean, I did it. I used to do that. I come home from work, just due to maybe just I'm not even really understanding, like on a deep level. Like, of course, we hear these things on an intellectual level. You're supposed to do this, supposed to do that, but then it's really easy to just come home, have your dinner, relax, maybe throw a load of the laundry and watch Netflix.
Autopilot.
And,
Yes.
and you know what I mean? And you're thinking because you're watching Netflix and you're on your bed watching Netflix that you're kind of relaxing and unwinding, but that stress is still, it's still there. It's kind of repressed because you haven't dealt with whatever was causing you stress, with, whether you got triggered at work from a conversation, or you're maybe taking on too much and you're not delegating, or whatever it is that you're not dealing with. You're just putting a band-aid on it by putting on the Netflix, and you're basically, and what's happening is it just builds up, builds up, builds up, builds up. And this is where people burn out, and this is where the adrenal fatigue comes in. And so I would say, yeah, definitely. Like when people, I think what's happening, if people hear, oh, self-care, okay. But no, it's a real thing, because that's how you release that stress and anxiety that allows you to think clearly and have that concentration to really cultivate self-awareness. I think this is where most people in society really need to cultivate a self-awareness. Like, how's my body feeling right now when I'm talking to this person? Is my heart racing faster? Is my muscles tensing up? Because we're so in our head so much in terms of like concentrating on what they're saying and then thinking of what to say back. We're not paying attention to what's actually happening in our body. Like, so we're not really tapping into our true selves in that sense. And so what happens when you don't deal with the root of your problems? How could you? You don't even know what your true self is really feeling, right? So this is where the autopilot comes in. This is where the Netflix, the constant running to Netflix and thinking that's relaxing and numbing yourself out and not really dealing with basically truth of yourself and truth of what you need to, really, I guess, like work on, do I need to improve my communication skills? If I'm not conveying what I need to convey to people in order to have a healthy relationship and have that that give and take and that cooperation, because I'm not communicating effectively, why this current relationship dynamic is not really working and not really producing benefits for efficiency, if it is a work relationship. Or not even, it could be, that could even be a romantic relationship too. So, or a friendship even. So, it does allow you to access those higher levels of clarity that can lead to better communication, that can lead to even releasing your own limiting beliefs too, if you start tapping into what's really going on with you when you're able to increase your self-awareness. Like, are you holding on to limiting beliefs that you've acquired through your childhood, due to, Sue or Sally saying this about you, you're horrible at math, or a teacher said you're horrible at math, so this way at work, you hate dealing with numbers and you cringe and it causes you stress and anxiety. So once you release those traumas, even though you start to like get better, you perform better. So I would definitely say it's a real thing, because it definitely can lead to higher
beautiful gift. Like, yeah. And for people that say they can't fit it into their daily routine, you'll have to try, because if you don't, then you're going to be in real trouble. Like if you can't find a few minutes every day, and as you do it more and more, I find that people do increase the time, that because they know the benefits are there. So if you are just starting out, just take 15 minutes, one day to get started, if that's all you can do. But you will notice the benefits and how you feel, how your body will feel and look, right? Because and yeah, this is awesome. I think that's a beautiful gift. We need to learn to love ourselves more and take care of ourselves. Like if we treated ourselves half as well as we treated our family and friends, we'd be better off, even just, it's something, right? So absolutely.
Absolutely. And also too, it helps you get into your body more. Again, like I said, once you're in your body more, like, feeling sensations, when you massage your face, rubbing the oils on your forehead, your abdomen, if you're having stomach cramps or what have you, doing the hot baths, and then using all those organic natural bath goodies too to amplify relaxation benefits, you start to really tap into your body more, like how it feels. And this what leads to increased intuition and it helps increase self-awareness too. They've actually done studies on monks. So obviously monks are known to meditate a lot. So their cognitive performance, they have high levels of concentration, they have high levels of self-awareness. So there are studies, they've done studies on monks, and they do brain scans on them, and they put electrodes on them. So there are, it does affect your brain. Your brain does improve. Improves memory. They think better. Their creativity skills are higher. Their communication skills are higher. It literally, like,
there's scientific proof for sure. And talk about living your best life, right? Make sure that all the stuff you want is aligned with what you're doing. Absolutely. That's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
Where can we find you? I mean, we've got the website, right? So HappyabeingWell.com. I'm going to go and check it out a little bit more. I've already been there, and see how fast you can ship your products out, because my week is coming up.
Well, I will be. It's mainly like it's mainly like you're in, like, in Canada, it's going to take longer.
I might have to drive down and just pick some up because you're not very far away. But thank you so much for coming today and educating us. I know I've learned a lot, and I had a great conversation with you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I had a great conversation too.
Oh, good. I'm glad. We have to talk about this more, because more and more, I think we're starting to learn, and as women, we're starting to realize that thinking of yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary. It's vital to your overall health, and it's brave to do that when other people may not be there yet, So I hope our conversation today will spark some people who maybe haven't started their routine to have a look at your journal, and to have a, look at the meditation book and things like that, and buy some of your products. So thanks again, Rita. I really appreciate meeting you and having you on the show.
All right. Well, thanks, Mila. Thanks for having me on the show. Enjoy your wonderful evening.
Thanks, you too. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. If you enjoyed what you heard, please subscribe or leave a review. See you next week on the Giving Starts With You podcast.